So, out with the 10.5-year-old Daewoo American Fridge Freezer. It's been brilliant. When we bought it 10.5 years ago, we paid about £500 for it, and it came with a 5-year warranty, but it's lasted 10.5 years. And here we go. It's been replaced by the Beko. So I've just unwrapped it all. It's a darker colour than the other one. The other one was very much a stainless steel, as you can see the kind of Neff products in the back. It very much matched that previously, although I don't think it's a bad colour. It's called brushed steel. It is darker, but I quite like it actually. It's not as light as the stainless steel kind of effect. Right, shall we have a look inside? It's a bit rocking at the moment, mainly because I haven't balanced it. It's got wheels on all corners and some adjustable feet on the front. So when you have a look in here, it's pretty good. Door pockets all the way to the bottom. Some of them leave out that kind of bottom one because some of the drawers come out even further. There is a little lip down the bottom here for both of your drawers. And then as you come up, you've got kind of 4 shelves on top of the drawers. Glass shelves that kind of just slot in. You can move those about. There is an extra slot just down here as well, where you could just resize and move some of those shelves as well. All right, so that's the freezer side. Now let's open up the fridge side. So 3-4 shelves again, an adjustable one just down here underneath this one, underneath the bottom one, and 2 large drawers at the bottom, slightly staggered. And then full drawers or pockets in the side of the door. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. Our other Daewoo did have a really nice kind of cheese compartment area that with a drawer that dropped out along here. Don't get that anymore on this. And we kind of don't really get any egg containers, although we did get a very basic ice cube tray. And in the Daewoo, we did have some ice cube tray holders that came out from underneath in the freezer side as well. So in a way, it's a shame that they didn't kind of include some of those things because they're nice little features to have, and they can't cost much more to design those into the fridges, really. We went with a simple design. My wife does not like the fridge freezers with the ice and the water compartments because she doesn't like the space being taken up inside. She likes to have as much available storage space as possible, because what you might see on some of them, especially I think the Samsung, it actually takes up like half this door of the freezer on the inside, whereas you can't get much in here admittedly, but she will get a number of things in those door pockets. There's not much else to say about it really. I'll put the dimensions on the screen right now so you can have a look. Fairly standard size. I think it was a few centimeters shorter than the Daewoo, but other than that, it looks about the same width and about the same depth because it's going to fit in the same holes, the same hole that we had before. So what do you get with the fridge? Not a lot really. A couple of stickers to tell you the kilowatt hours and the energy efficiency. Don't forget we're now on an F. These things used to be rated A, but the rating's all changed. You get an instruction manual, a very cheap looking ice cube tray, and then finally an Allen key. Now, why an Allen key? The reason is because inside the instruction manual it tells you can take off the handles of the doors if you want to. So if you are having trouble getting it in your house or out of your house, if you're moving, then there is a way of taking off the doors, as you can use the Allen key on the bottom of the door handles and remove them. So while we're on the subject, the door handles stick out roughly about 6 centimeters from the fridge, just to let you know. Right, so here it is in place. It's fitted in quite nicely. The colour, as I say, I still quite like it. I left it 4 hours. That's what they tell you to do in the instruction manual. To leave it 4 hours sitting for it to settle, the gases to settle before you turn it on. So I just turn it on and slid it back into place. It's quite quiet. When I first turned it on, obviously it had to run for quite a while to cool itself. And I set a Give Energy smart plug to analyze how much power it was using. And when I first turned it on, it was using 100 watts as opposed to a smaller regular half-size fridge, which was using 60 watts. So on the front here, you don't automatically see the numbers and things unless you open the door. So there we go. So we've got it set to, my wife set it to -14 on the freezer and 7 on the fridge side. Now you can set your own temperatures on the freezer side by tapping that button or pressing the button on the other side to set your own fridge temperatures within a certain range. It's got a lock button here as well, where you have to hold this button down for 3 seconds to unlock the front panel so that people don't mess about with it and touch it by mistake. Or there's also mode buttons which go along the bottom here, which are all in the instruction manual. And they basically have like super freezing and eco mode and things like that. So you could just stick to a certain mode if you want it to set the temperatures for you, or change the temperatures yourself, which you might want to do depending on whether it's summer or winter or whatever. But yeah, it's quite a nice readout on the front, but it goes off after a certain amount of time when you've closed the door. So have a look in my fridge. So we moved a few things around. The light comes on fairly quickly, not instant, but pretty quickly. As you can see, a number of items in there. You see there's a bottle of Bailey's in there. This, you can see how far there's a big gap, 2 fingers I can get in between the Bailey's and my actual door pocket. So they're quite big door pockets, but obviously you can fit a 4-pinter in there, edge on quite nicely. It looks weird, the bottom tray. It looks like somebody's not put it in, pushed it back properly, but that is how it goes on the bottom veg tray. I just want to say it's single light on the top, which illuminates quite nicely the whole thing. So coming onto the freezer side, again, single light at the top, illuminates everything. I happened to get my old Daewoo shelf in here with my nice ice cube trays. So I've kept that. There's a silly little gap in here, but I've kept that in there just because I like those so much. So yeah, so 2 trays at the bottom, and then nice full door compartments as well. Can you hear it? You can hear it now coming on because I've opened the door. There you go. But when you shut it, it's quite quiet. I think it's 40 dBs in the specifications. So I can't find any drawbacks of this fridge at all, really. It's got a nice look to it, nice graphical front. The only thing I kind of don't like, other than the ice cube trays not being there, is the feet. It's a bit of a weird one. They're kind of always on display, if you know what I mean. I think the Daewoo, the old one, had a cover that went on the front that kind of basically sort of covered the front feet, and so you never saw them, so they were kind of hidden. But they do catch my eye a little bit, but there you go. The feet are on display. Just to let you know, we did have a look at this fridge before we bought it. We went into a very large Curry's and it was on display. So we did get to look at it before we bought it. I do kind of recommend you do that, really. because some of the other ones, the doors felt very light and flimsy. So it's worth checking out if you can. Unfortunately, you can't phone the stores at Currys anymore to find out what is on display. And there's no way of kind of finding out. You just have to make the journey and hope for the best. So this is the Beko ASL1331PX American Fridge Freezer in brushed steel. And I have put links to it below if you want to go directly to Currys and anybody else that stocks it. I'll put their links in the description below as well. So check those out. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and of course like the video if you did. See you soon.